Good morning, children. Welcome to our English class. Today we are going to see Unit 1, first poem. It is not a memory poem. The title of the poem is The Computer Swallowed Grandma. Now, children, can you tell me, can a computer swallow? Do they have the habit of swallowing, eating, or drinking? No, not at all. We are sure about it. But this poem is a very humorous and imaginative one. This poem was published in the year 2004 in the newspaper named Daily Mail. Children, which year a newspaper it was published? Yes, you are right. But the name of the poet was not known. That's why it is written as anonymous. Anonymous means the author's name is not known or made public. So children, we don't know who wrote this poem. Here in this poem, the poet used the poetic device called personification. Children, tell me, what is personification? It is a poetic device. Personification means it is a literary tone. It attributes human quality to non-human or inanimate. Non-human means animals, trees, pets, etc. Inanimate means stones, books, house, like non-living things. Those we call as inanimate. In this poetry, personification brings beautiful tones because it brings objects to life. See this, children. I have given two examples. They are the sunlight dance, the streets are calling me. Children, have you seen sunlight dancing? Will they dance? And the streets are calling me? Will the streets call you, children? No. But the poet says it dance. The poet says the streets are calling me. Is it possible, children? Will the street call anyone? No, not at all. But the poet says that the streets are calling me. So this is called personification. Giving human qualities like dancing, calling, speaking, eating, etc. to the objects. Similarly, in a poem, the computer is personified. So, our poet present here the human qualities of drinking, eating to the non-living things of computer. Children, all of us know that the computer will not chew, eat or drink. But here in our poem, the poet is telling it did something. So this poem is personified. Once again, I repeat to you, children, in a poem, some human qualities are given to a non-living thing's computer. So we are telling this poem is personified. So children, did you understand this figure of speech is implied in this poem? This is personification. Now, we shall move to the poem, The Computer Swallowed Grandma. So, I hope that you understood what is personification. Yes, dear children, shall we move to our poem? Here, swallowed means to make your food to go down into your stomach without chewing. So, sometimes we also do. When we eat without chewing, we put it. Students, let us see the poem. There are 5 stanzas in this poem. Now, I am going to read the first stanza. So, shall we go to the poem, children? The computer swallowed grandma is honestly it's true. She pressed control and enter and disappeared from view. Once again, I read it for you, children. The computer swallowed grandma is honestly it's true. She pressed control and enter and disappeared from view. Now let us see the second stanza. It devoured her completely. The thought just made me squirm. She must have got a virus or been eaten by a worm. Once again, I read it for you. It devoured her completely. The thought just makes me squirm. She must have got a virus or been eaten by a worm. Next stanza. I have searched through the recycle bin and files of every kind. I have even used the internet, but nothing did I find. Children, once again I repeat the line. I have searched through the recycle bin and files of every kind. I have even used the internet, but nothing did I find. The fourth stanza. In desperation looked Jeeves, my searches to refine. The reply from him was negative. Not a thing was found online. Once again, I read it for you. In desperation looked Jeeves, my searches to refine. The reply from him was negative. Not a thing was found online. Dear children, this is last stanza. So, if inside your inbox, my grandma you should see, please copy, scan and paste her in an email back to me. Once again, I will read the lines, children. So, if inside your inbox, my grandma you should see, please copy, scan and paste her in an email back to me. Children, now we will see the explanation for all the stanza. Dear students, now we will see the first stanza. The computer swallowed grandma. Yes, honestly, it's true. She pressed Ctrl and Enter and disappeared from view. Swallowed means to make your food to go down into your stomach without chewing. This already I told you children about the swallowed. Next is disappeared means vanished or go out of sight. Now we will see the explanation. Once the poet was having online chat with her modern grandmother living far away. The computer connection was not proper and suddenly it split and grandmother disappeared from the computer screen. By mistake or suddenly she pressed the Ctrl and Enter keys on the keyboard and the image was vanished from there. Vanished means disappeared from the screen. Now let us see the second stanza. It devoured her completely. The thought just makes me squirm. She must have got a virus or been eaten by a worm. Devoured means to eat something quickly. Squirm means to feel nervous about something. Got is the past form of catch. Virus is the code which copies itself and destroys the data in your computer. Worm means a small insect with a soft body without legs or bones. Now we will see the explanation. So my dear children, by mistake she pressed the Ctrl and Enter keys on the keyboard. Her image was vanished from the screen. So now the computer swallowed grandma completely. The disappearance of grandma from the computer screen made the poet feel nervous. So poet thinks that the image of grandma on the screen must have been attacked by the computer virus or eaten by the worm in the computer. So he thinks that the computer has eaten up. I have searched through the recycle bin and files of every kind. I have even used the internet, but nothing did I find. Now recycle bin means it is a container for waste things that will be recycled. Now we will see the explanation. The poet wants to get back the image of grandma on the screen once again. So the poet searches grandma on the recycle files and all the folders, and finally poet used the internet also to find her, but poet could not find anything in the computer. Now let's see the fourth stanza. In desperation I asked Jeeves my searches to refine. The reply from him was negative. Not a thing was found online. Desperation means hopelessness. Jeeves is a software engineer. Refine means improved by small changes. So children, shall we see the explanation? The poet worried and calls Jeeves to get his help to find out where the grandma will be. So, software engineer Jeeves also searched the grandma in the computer. But he gives a negative reply because he too could not find the grandma in the online. So, he gave a negative reply to the poet. Now, let us see the last stanza. So, if inside your inbox, my grandma you should see, please copy, scan and paste her in an email back to me. Email is a way of sending electronic messages or data from one computer to another. This is the end of the poem. In this end of the poem, the poet requests all the readers of the poem to send her grandma to her through email by copying, scanning and pasting her if they happen to find her grandma in the inbox. So dear children, I hope you have understood the poem well. Now let us read the poem. The computer swallowed grandma. Yes, honestly, it's true. She pressed Ctrl and Enter and disappeared from view. It devoured her completely. The thought just makes me swim. She must have got a virus or been eaten by a worm. I have searched through the recycle bin and files of every kind. I have even used the internet, but nothing did I find. In desperation, I asked Jeeves my searches to refine. The deep reply from him was negative. Not a thing was found online. So, if inside your inbox, my grandma you should see, please copy, scan and paste her in an email back to me. Now let us see the rhyming words. Rhyming words are two or more words which have the same sound. It is the same sound but the spellings are different. It is usually occur at the end of the lines in a poem. For example, it is given still, then, men, hall, call. So here you see children rhyming words. The sounds are same but not the spellings. Now let us see in our poem. The computer swallowed grandma. Yes, honestly, it's true. She pressed Ctrl and Enter and disappeared from view. Here you see children the first paragraph stanza, the second line and the fourth line. The last word, true and view. In the second stanza, it devoured her completely. The thought just makes me swim. She must have got a virus or been eaten by a worm. Now here also the second line and the fourth line, swam and worm. So both are sounding the same. The spellings are different. So they are called rhyming words. Now we saw in the first and the second stanza. Now let us see the third stanza. I have searched through the recycle bin and files of every kind. I have even used the internet but nothing did I find. Here also kind and the find. The second line and the fourth line. The last word. Kind and the find. The fourth stanza. In desperation I asked Jeeves my searches to refine. The reply from him was negative. Not a thing was found online. Here also in the second line and the fourth line. Refine, online. The sounds are same but the spellings are different. So I hope children you understood what is rhyming words. Now let us see the glossary. That is the meaning of the words. Devoured, to eat something quickly. Swam, to feel nervous about something. Disappear, vanish. Desperation, hopelessness. Virus, a code which copies itself and destroys the data in a computer. Reply, answer. Refine, improve by small changes. So now you can learn this meanings glossary. You have the evaluation questions. Who swallowed grandma? How did grandma disappear from view? So children, you can learn the answers of this question.